Good morning, and welcome to Mahala Monday. Absolutely wonderful to be with you on this 23rd, of May.
That's right, Dougal, the 23rd of May. Welcome everybody to Mahala Monday on a Monday.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant to have you along. As normal, we have a very, very exciting show, but today there's a bit of a twist. We're going to get to that shortly because it is a bit of a twist. But the most important thing is this is an interactive show, okay? And we normally, we talk to people who do remarkable things, amazing, outstanding things, people who go beyond what normal humans would be doing and just extend a hand of goodwill and just make life easier for everybody around them. And of course, people who are really just the outliers, you know, people on the cusp of things, reinventing things and all of that. That is what the show is all about, which is always exciting. And the big thing for you is that it's an interactive show. So normally you get to ask questions and comments and all of that and put it all to our special guest. And of course, it's very easy to get in touch with us because the details is at the bottom of your screen at Nickay Productions, Facebook and YouTube. That's where we are live right now. But before we do any of that, how are you?
I'm good, Dougal.
Don't lie.
Good. I missed you. I was away for some time, as you know. And I got back yesterday from Johannesburg. So yeah, I'm happy to be back in Cape Town and sitting in my seat right now.
Yeah, it's good to have
and not
you.
have my photo up here.
Yeah. So it's good to have you. So now let me be honest with you. I said to you today is a bit of a show. All right.
That's right.
So normally when you do a show like this, you know, there's a good couple of days of prep that goes into it where, you know, you sort of engage with a guest, you go through everything that you're going to be talking about and this and the other, and the guest is quite excited and, you know, you kind of set it up.
So
absolutely no idea who we're talking about talking to today. No idea.
Yeah.
We've got absolutely no idea. This is not my decision. This is not Rhoda's decision. This is the producer's decision, okay? So we've got absolutely no idea who we will be talking to. We're going to be doing this interview blind. This is going to be completely off the cuff.
So, Dougal, so this is where the twist in the plot comes in. So I am fully aware of who we're interviewing.
Oh, you lied.
Yes, Dougal, I had to. And you kept on asking me, you're lying, and you kept on telling me, Rhoda, you're lying. And I know my face is very difficult. It was very difficult to basically hold this from you.
So you knew who it was?
Yes.
Are you going to give me a clue?
Yes, and I will actually introduce him now. So it is our talented, basically extraordinary,
wait.
out of this world, Dougal Peterson. Woo-woo! Sorry, Dougal, but this is the way we wanted to do this with you because you're so special, you're so unique. So, Dougal, today I'm interviewing you, Dougal.
Wait. So we're not talking to somebody.
We're talking to somebody, you. That's it. So today, it's such a privilege for me to be able to interview this unique individual here right next to me. And find out a bit more about Dougal, because Dougal is the type of person that if I had told him this in advance, he'd have hidden everything from me. And he said, no. So today it's all about you. Okay? Yeah. And I can tell you guys, having to work with Dougal for the past, it's going to be in October, we've been working together for 2 years. It's been an amazing journey. And I can tell you, this is the most humblest man I've ever met. And you know what? Always willing to coach me, push me further. He knows I wasn't a presenter. And when I started at our beginnings, it was one of the most difficult things for me, being an introvert. This was difficult, but I can tell you, this man right next to me pushed me, held my back, had my back, and always said, Rhoda, you can do this. Rhoda, you can do this. And you know, I've learned a lot. I've really learned so much from you.
That's nice.
So hats off to you, Dougal. Today is about you.
Oh, well.
Yes.
You know what? I made a list of people. I actually got my book of people that I know because I was thinking, like, you said, I don't know that I will just put it, you know, I was like, where's your list? Now, and to be honest with you, you said, I know the person. That was the clue. It was like, oh, you know the person that we're going to be talking to. And that was it. So I thought to myself, I don't actually know that many cool people. The people I know, is like, they dodge. And look who it is.
And look who it is. So, Dougal, let's start our interview. So, today it's all about you, Dougal. So, for me, the first question, no, you may not lie at the show today. So, for me, I really want to know the humble beginnings of Dougal. Where Dougal comes from, how this all started for you.
Well, so, loaded question, man. Look at all my questions. Loaded question. So basically what some people know about me and a lot of people don't know about me is obviously I live in Cape Town now. Father of two, got a wonderful partner, so mom and dad is around, my brother lives in Ireland. But I come from Bredasdorp. That's where I grew up. That's where everything started for me. So yeah, Bredasdorp, born in Worcester, Bredasdorp, and now I live here. I've been around the block, Rhoda. I've been in 100 gazillion places as well. So, but now I'm here and I'm sitting here next to you.
Dougal, so for me, and I think there's a lot of questions out there because, I mean, you're a comedian, you're basically a voiceover, you everything, you're my MC, you do so much. And for me, I just want to know, there's a lot of kids out there and saying, so when did you realize, that you were born for entertainment? I mean,
early days. I knew that long time ago. So the biggest thing is, and this is actually, I'm not being funny here, the biggest thing is I knew this from a very young age. I knew that is what I wanted to do, but it wasn't defined.
Okay.
Because it was something that didn't exist as a career opportunity, if it makes sense.
True. Yeah.
Do you know what? When I matriculated in the late 90s, this wasn't really, you were studying to do something and whatever, and your hobby, you were lucky if your hobby became something that you could make money off, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So this was never a clear, defined thing. I mean, yes, there was drama and those sort of things at tertiary education, but it wasn't. But where it started for me, I got to be honest, so my father is a par excellence public speaker. My dad is really, really good. But not just my father, I would say all the males in our family, they were. And also given the community we were in, it was always expected of teachers to sort of do that sort of thing. So it was an easy, I was exposed to it at a young age, and it's something I took to, and it's something I prided myself on. Where the funny thing all started for me is, I started doing comedy, actually not here. But at the time, So at school, I was pretty decent, orator, I was pretty decent. I won several competitions, represented the province, at school. Yeah, so it was all right. I was,
Excellent.
So that was all cool. And, then you went to go study and you were exposed to more things. And when I went to Varsity College, you were exposed to more things. All of a sudden, more public speaking events came, like weddings, those sort of things.
Yeah.
At the time, there wasn't a lot of funerals because I only knew young people. But, weddings, those sort of things. People ask you, would you MC? And then I worked in the food and beverage industry for a long time. And then I said, you know what, I want to do comedy. I was following comedy in Cape Town and in South Africa for the longest time, and this was a real calling because you were sort of the clown of the gathering. You know what I mean?
I was just going to ask you that exactly that. When I see you, and I think a lot of us can vouch for this. At school, we always had our little person that was kind of the person that makes you laugh at school in your class. We always used to say, "Oh, the clown of the class." So. Were you kind of one of those people that was always funny in the class?
I had two friends that were a lot funnier than me. They weren't. I definitely wasn't the class clown, but I was part of the class clown group.
I was going to say now,
but
definitely.
I think the two friends, and we're still good mates, the two of them were naturally very, very funny. And I had a lot of friends who were naturally funny, but it was also that thing of the platteland environment, like your emotions is on your sleeve. You couldn't hide, you couldn't pretend. So if you liked something or didn't, you would just say, and that was just funny. So eventually I got onto cruise ships. And I started doing comedy there. So there was a magician, Charles Bach, who kind of took me under his wing.
Okay.
And I made the transition from the food and beverage side into the cruise staff side.
Wow.
And then the weirdest thing happened. And there was a comedian who was, and I didn't know he was the guest entertainer for the cruise that week, but I was running a certain bar, which was a theme bar. And I used to do the cocktail demos, and they had this like good morning show on ship similar to this, on which I would just like rip the hell out of the chef and just the other people and, you know, just have a lot of fun with the drinks and stuff and where we were going. And that night, this comedian sat at the bar. I had no idea he was the comedian, you know, it was just another guest. And in our conversation, he said to me, could you do what you do behind the bar on a stage in front of people? Being cocky, mid-20s. I was like, yeah, of course I can, man. What do you think? You know what I mean? And he said, well, I'm you know, this is it. Would you open for me? I had no idea. I had no material, nothing. This is to an American audience. The next thing, 2 hours later, there I am walking out on the stage. And as they say, the rest is history. So, you know what? And it was something that I wanted to do, but it's always something like you just put it out there, your stars align. And when it hit, it was like, I felt alive.
Oh, brilliant.
I felt alive. And I came back, and when I came back, I was like, that's it, I'm not doing it, and I'm going to try and pursue something. And then there was a very popular newspaper here. They had like, let's call it idols for comedians. They had this sort of thing. And my two good friends, Kurt Skoenraad and Stuart Taylor, was involved. And yeah, and eventually I won the thing, and you know, got some guidance from them. And,
excellent.
And between us, you know, we've toured the country, we've been to so many places together. But that's how it started. And then the next thing that happened was actually before that, radio happened.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was the talk station in Cape Town.
I was even going to say, before we get there even, I just wanted to touch on a few things that you basically discussed now. So, oh, look at that. Ooh,
yeah.
Who's that young man? Oh, wow.
I don't know. So, Vernon wanted to be seen with somebody, but that's basically it.
Just going back quickly, and I'll come back to the radio presenting now. Just listening to you now. And guys, I can tell you now, before the show even starts in the morning, you know, we start the show at 10 live, obviously. And prior to the show starting, I'm telling you, I literally sometimes had to say, Rhoda, please, you've got makeup on. Don't laugh that the tear starts running, because Dougal makes us laugh in this office before, or at least in our studio, before the show starts. I mean, all of us here are in tears by the time before we even start the show, we're in tears.
But it's easy because Nafiz is here.
And this is one of the guys that's sitting here on the background. He always teases and goes on about. So, Dougal, with that, and just listening to you, obviously, that's why I'm taking a step back on the boat story where you started being the comedian. And just me personally experiencing you, I mean, I see you at venues, I see you at events, and then you are the MC at these events. And just for me, the combination of the comedy side of you, the comedian side of you, with the MC side, it is amazing. And I've experienced a lot of MCs that's just the MC, hi, I'm so da-da-da, and this is, you know, and they stick to a program. I've seen you at functions where I can see something's going down, something's not going according to the program, and you just jump in there and you make it work. And you're grabbing things from, and I experienced on the show with the two of us as well. Anything happening on the background, Dougal is the one that's kind of just like, I've got this in his head. He's basically dragging at straws and making it work. And I find this so amazing. I mean, look at that dude. And you know, I really take my hat off for you. And just the combination of the two, for me, it's such a perfect combination, because you make it entertaining, you make it so exciting. And I can tell you, when you get on the stage and you start emceeing, you know, I stuck to you. I'm glued to basically your speech and what you're saying. I don't drift off anywhere. So you know what? Well done, well done.
No, thanks, Rhoda. I appreciate that. I'm a little bit flabbergasted, because it is not, you know, it is not. But you know, the big thing is you just got to have fun. You just got to have fun. I remember going into radio, you know what I mean? And I would meet people like John Matham and stuff. So even Cape Town, many years ago, man, this is like 20 odd years ago, they had like what they called a voice search at the time. And at the time, they might have, the studio wasn't where it is now, it wasn't part of the Prime Media Group, it just started, and they did this thing, and I was like the runner-up, and that was brilliant. And it was all radio people, but it was purely just, you know, just this kid out of the blue. And I think maybe they took pity on me. But they kind of gave you the ropes. You kind of got the gist of what radio presenting is, which is not something that would happen. And then from that space, you know, the comedy happens. Subsequently, now in the last part, you know, a lot of acting has been taking place.
We're still going to get there.
You know, and voice work. But the comedy and just emceeing functions, this was it. And I've been lucky. And I've been lucky. I've been lucky,
Yeah.
you know.
We've got the social media there.
It's not
Somebody
going to be
commenting.
flattering anyway.
Mr. Clint Hofmeester. Hello, Mr. Clint.
I don't know
Welcome
this
to
person.
the show. Oh, yeah. One of the best MCs, comedians I know. I agree with you, Clint. I agree with you.
I disagree with Clint completely. I disagree
And
with
Clint
Clint.
sees him on a regular basis. So Clint's words is true at the end of the day because they work together on a lot of occasions.
This is the thing. Let me tell you a story about Clint quickly. So let me tell you a story. So I do a gig. I get booked to do an end of year function as the comedian at a venue. And then they say to me, do you know a DJ? So Clint is a DJ, right? So I phone him and I'm like, you know, a lot of DJs. And it wasn't the first person I phoned either. I phoned either 80 people first. They all said no, they didn't want to work with me. I'm just joking. Anyway, so I spoke to Clint and I was like, listen, mate, do you mind doing it? And then and Clint was like, cool. And you know, so there's cues, so we worked certain things out. Useless he was, because I'm going on to the thing that I want to do, and I need it. And then Clint is laughing, rolling, and having a jolly time, and I'm like, what nonsense is this? You know what I mean? I called him out in the show as well. I called him out in the show as well. It was funny as hell, though. Yeah, but he's a good man. But it's people like that, people like Clint, people you work with. I've been fortunate. Let me be honest with you. And this is the biggest thing for people. When you have a decent work ethic, I'm not saying I do, but when you work with people like Clint, and I really appreciate what you're saying, Clint, but it's people like Clint that makes your job easy. Because that person's work ethic, Clint's work ethic is it's extraordinary. Exactly. It's when I work with you. Yeah. So when you do that, when everybody comes together and collaborate and they all do whatever they can do best, magic happens.
Exactly.
It is regardless of what you're doing.
True. I believe
it is that. And you know, and the success, and might fall on. It was a lekker function or it falls on the MCO, well done. But it's not, you know, it's a small percentage of it, you know, small percentage.
So going back, we saw a photo there of you at KFM. So that was your presenter times, you were at KFM?
Yeah, so I was a presenter there for a few years. It all started out at Cape Talk, actually being trained there, and then eventually a friend of mine, Sunil and I, we did like an overnight show, which was a double-header, which we presented for a while. And then Sunil left at the time, and then I carried on. So I was doing some overnight stuff, and and weekend breakfast I was standing in for. In fact, that photo with Vernon Philander was when they played England here, and I think he took a 5 or took some world record or something. And the test ended like in 6 hours, a 5-day test, and that is straight after the test. And he came through to the studio, and we did an interview with him, and he came to visit around. So that's where that one was taken. And you know, and subsequently on you know, with the radio things, I met people like The Script. You met all these amazing.
I was just going to say, you must have met amazing people.
You know what? I met Johnny Clegg. I met his son Jesse Clegg, and Johnny Clegg was just amazing. You know, and these are people that stand out. You know, Freshly Ground, the Script. There was you know, just a plethora of people that you met, musical artists. You know, you probably wouldn't have normally met them, but I mean, it's an endless list.
Endless list. So everybody out there, you know, when you go to Clicks, and I've heard this so many times, especially, you know, people that comes and says, oh, you know what, I heard Dougal, and it's like, oh, I heard him in Clicks. So you're a celebrity.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I would say that because every single person I've met that knows me and knows our show will come to me and say, they stand dead still, they hear your voice and they're looking like, oh, but I know that voice, And yeah, it's you, Dougal. So one of the other things you're doing, and I know many times you are running between so many jobs, and I take my hat off to you because you really, you run the mill. You basically all over the place. And I mean, many times we have to slot in here because you either be doing Grand West or you're between Clicks or you're basically doing your voiceover at your the telenovela as well. That's we're still going to come back to as well. So I know you're a very busy guy. And you know what? Yeah, the Clicks, where did that all start? How did that come about?
Also, you know what? It stemmed from, it's amazing how everything came out of comedy. Because of comedy, you met the radio people who said you need to try and do this. And then I got a gig at the casino here in Cape Town, and it was just a 5-6 week contract that it all started, and it went really well. And at the end of it, the casinos asked me, "Would you like to be one of the guys that MC here on a much more regular basis?" And this was quite a thing.
Okay.
So then it forced me to actually move to Cape Town. So at the time I wasn't even living here.
Okay.
So then I came here and you know, sort of pursuing this, and out of that, now because you constantly hustling, you constantly on a scurril in this industry. So then the clicks thing. So one of the gentlemen there, he was moving up in the management structures within that retail radio environment. And he said to me, "Look, I think you would fit in here. Just come through for an audition and an interview and all of this." And yeah, well, you know, and he gave me that opportunity, and the rest is history. But and that led to other things. Do you know what I mean? And out of that, KFM happened. Out of that, a lot of voice work came from audiobooks to ads to all of that. Yeah, the one thing led to another thing. Do you know what a lot of people always say? No, your ship came in. No, your ship never came in. Your ship never arrives. Let me be honest with you. If you do the same thing over and over, and you're the regular person that do it. Now, the regular person breaks a leg or something, can't do it.
Yeah.
The guy who steps in, people go, "Oh, this one was pretty good."
Yeah.
Or might be better. But it's the thing is because you've been doing the same thing over and over. You just haven't had a chance to show everybody else. And I'm not saying that's the case, but you've been doing the same thing over and over, so that's what it is. But look, for me, comedy obviously is the biggest love. It's the biggest love. It has morphed into other things now. It has morphed into doing voice work with acting. It's new disciplines that's come into the fore, and especially corporate comedy. You know, that to me is.
And I got very excited, and I mean, with two of us and you know, our guys here, we chat a lot. And I got so excited. Was it about a month ago when you came to me and you said you were basically doing one of the voiceovers for the telenovela?
Yeah.
I was blown out of, I'm telling you, I was so excited because you know what? You just got that voice. I'm sorry to say it. And everybody, whenever they're listening to our show, everybody will always comment, or even when we chat to anybody, they're always like, "Oh, I love your voice, Dougal. I love your voice, Dougal." So it was inevitable. As far as I'm concerned, it was inevitable. So guys, if you're watching one of those shows and you hear this voice, then you know our friend has basically moved another step up. And I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Thanks, Rhoda.
And how do you find it? How do you experience that?
So far, it's lekker. It's challenging because voice acting is a very different thing than just normal acting. So it's a bit hard. So your voice has got to do it. But in the last month or two, I mean, the people I've been working with at Overclimb, they're fantastic, man. Those people are brilliant. They make you lekker and everything. So it's lekker. And we're having a jaw. We're having a jaw.
Glad.
It's all about having a jaw.
I'm glad.
I'm glad. That's what it is.
There's some comments and questions, at least some comments there.
Yeah, none of this I'll
Hubert, welcome Hubert. Dougal, they say laughter is a vacation. Thanks for all the holidays. So true, Hubert, so true. Welcome to the show.
He's an easy laugh, Hubert. Thanks, man.
And there we got most humble, awesome, and fantastic MC I've ever worked with in my career. This man is such a blessing to the industry. That's Alfonso.
Yeah, that's coming from Alfonso because he's one of those people. And Alfonso is one of those people with you as well. And what I was saying with Clint earlier as well, because we work together a lot. So these are people who make the job easier.
Makes it easier.
Do you know what I mean? When I talk about people who come, they're like proper. You don't have to. It's like it's there. It's there.
I see there was a comment from Yolanda as well. Yolanda? Yeah. Oh, so Yolanda boy. Hey, yo. It's been a year now since I've known Dougal, and I must say it's really fun being around him.
Yeah.
There we go, Yolanda. Yolanda sitting on that side there. So,
but she lies a lot, I've noticed, because I've noticed.
Thank you, Yolanda.
I've noticed that she's...
Then Alicia van Brede. Always nice. Oh, sorry, there's Paul again, Hubert again. You've been giving a little spark of madness. Please don't ever lose it. That's cool, dude. That is so true. And I can tell you now, all of us here, basically, we thoroughly enjoy it. I think we look forward to our Monday mornings.
Yeah, it's fun.
Everybody always just say it's a blue Monday. For us at Mahala Monday, it's definitely not a blue Monday. Yeah. So one of our big jobs we did, and this is where your experience comes in, was the huts. We had a 6-hour, am I correct?
Yeah.
Presenting, done, at Musenberg,
Yeah.
the Hearts Beach Huts.
Yeah.
And I was thinking prior to that, because I can tell you on a Monday, just doing a show sometimes, it really takes a lot out of you. And I remember you telling me, Rhoda, you just drink coffee. Rhoda, you just make sure you drink lots of coffee. Rhoda, you must make sure. Geez, that day we drank a lot of coffee. And your experience really helped me get through that day. Because, I mean, people, 6 hours of talking ain't no jokes.
Yeah.
And hats off to you, brother. You did well. I mean,
But
you coached me well.
No, but it's easy enough because once again, the collective of people involved makes it easy. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody is doing their part, so it's you just do what you're gonna do. And the thing is, you shouldn't focus on other things. Just do what you do, and if you do it honestly, people will laugh. People will be enjoying it. They'll appreciate it. This is the thing. Any audience member, and this is a very important thing for young comedians, for young performers. I've always, the biggest fear, Seinfeld in fact uses this as a joke, who says the biggest fear of anybody is standing in front, is public speaking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's one of the
I can
greatest
imagine.
fears. If you're going to, it's one of the biggest fears of all people.
Yeah.
So you're better off lying in the coffin than doing the eulogy. That is the the thing that Seinfeld says, and which is true. But when you're doing something like what we did, because we were talking for 6 hours, everybody pulls in their part. You kind of do it. You just do what you got to do. But the biggest thing I want to say, like especially for young performers, when you're doing something, the biggest fear for me was like, what if people don't laugh?
Oh,
What if
yeah, I
people
was
don't
just
laugh?
gonna
Because
ask
now
that.
you hear crickets, and trust me, I've heard more crickets than anything else. And there's nothing wrong with crickets because you learn a lot more
The
from
crickets.
hearing complete silence
Oh, wow.
then actually, you learn a lot. So the point is, when you hear that, it is part of it. You own it. Move on with it.
Brilliant.
Don't let it throw you. It's actually another weapon. Over time, I learned oh, well, you make a comment on it. You don't understand English, you don't understand Afrikaans, or
That's
is
exactly
it
what I
load
thought
shedding on the
about
mic.
you.
You kind of move with it, and then you get the attention back. And and if the point you made that was completely flat, if you got a flat response, you remake the point, you will get a response, and you move on. But this is the thing. But it just shows you are fallible. But the biggest thing is, which you realize over time, is any audience wants you to succeed.
Oh, yeah.
Audience on your side as well.
Yeah.
Even if
That's
they
why
give
they're
you a
there.
hard time, even if they heckle you, even if they give you a hard time, they still on your side. When there's enjoyment, and you might not have been the person who caused it, you might not have been the one, maybe an audience member just shouts something that is super funny, just let it run. Because they're enjoying it while you on stage, you indirectly claim it by default.
I'll just make 100% sure if I have to go to one of your stand-up comedian shows or whatever, I'll make 100% sure I'm not sitting in front. I can just see this man going at you. We see it in the office here, so I know what I'm talking about. So, Dougal, I mean, your career, and we're talking about the vast career of all these years of your experience. As I said, MC, comedian, voiceover, radio presenter. There is so many at the end of the day. Could you tell me what, out of all of that, the highlight of your career? Can you even put a finger to that, or is there quite a bit of them?
There's moments in different things. There's moments in different things. I've been fortunate enough to MC at events that only a few people get to do.
Oh, wow.
Last year, I mean, obviously, even in COVID times, it was hard, but there's always hope. So, as we all know, there was this big expo in Dubai, so I was shortlisted for that, which was brilliant, which is like me going to the Olympics, or a sportsman. And that was fantastic. And obviously, COVID put a little bit of a lid on that. So there were those things. There's functions that I've done where you walk on stage and the most famous people on the planet are sitting in front of you. I've opened things like Legends, which is a phenomenal restaurant, tribute restaurant that they have at Sun City. Radio is the interviews we've done. The people me and you have met on this show and the difference we've made in people's lives, those are the things that stand out. And then from a comedy side, it is amazing because I remember playing at your Master Comedy Club, and I was one of the last comedians to play there. And then Kurt moved to the Waterfront, and I was one of the very first people to play there. In fact, I was there on the opening night.
Oh, wow.
And then when it got branded as Cape Town Comedy Club, I was once again the first person. So
Oh, wow.
from a comedy perspective, that is things that stand out for me. And the amount of fun we had, you know, myself and Carl Weber and Kurt Skoenraad and Mark Lottering and Mel
And
Jones,
Mel.
Dalen.
Oh, yeah.
We just had so much fun. And Rob and KG. Just all the fun we had. So those are the things that stand out, you know. There's those little things. But also then when we started with this show, the people's lives we've touched was
Oh,
brilliant. And you
yeah.
wouldn't
Oh,
think
yeah.
that those would be things that I've done. And I've played big events, man. I've played festivals with the biggest and best comedians in South Africa. I've done it all
wow.
over. So
So you've got many highlights in your life. But you know what, Dougal, at the end of the day, you're always telling us, you know, for me, you are such a humble individual. And you don't like letting people know this, because if you see the other side of Dougal, and not the comedian, the MC, the presenter, he is such a humble human being. And you know what? Dougal will go to the ends of the earth for you. And this is what I've experienced
thanks.
with
You're going to talk about funeral.
No, I'm not. If you talk about loyalty, this man's got your back. And you know what? That's exactly how I feel. I'm always feeling like I've always got your back. And you know,
thanks, Rhoda.
there's a few comments there as well. I'm sure we're going to have them quickly. So Alicia van Breda, always nice, walking into him, always the same friendly, humble person. So true, Alicia. And then she said, may it say wise, good conversation. Oh, there we go. Then who's that,
Alicia's like,
Who's this? Oh, from New Zealand. Shanae. Okay, I'm not going to try and do the surname. There's Shanae.
Peregrino Tim.
There we go. There we go. You see, that's how we cover each other here. Enjoying my Monday evening entertainment here in New Zealand. Thanks, Nickay. Ooh,
How's
it's
it,
only
man?
a pleasure.
Land of
Enjoy
the
it,
long
enjoy
cloud,
it.
white cloud. Yeah.
You see how the two of us cover each other. That's my. He's always
where
got my
she
back.
is in New Zealand.
So
I just want to say she's going to get home late tonight. But
I was going to say it's late night there now in New Zealand.
she's gonna get home
Is there
later.
any other comments? Is that everybody for now? Yeah. So Dougal, I must say, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with you. I don't know if there's any last words you'd like to
I've
to
got
say.
nothing to say, man.
Because
I've
I
got
think
nothing.
you've said so much, and I'm really you.
Actually, I do.
Okay. You
I
see
do.
now that's my friend Dougal.
So no, because I have an opportunity, and I never get an opportunity to speak in public. So whenever I do, I would like to bring up firework safety first. No, I'm just joking. No, but the biggest thing is, Rhoda, I never would have done Live My Passion. Now, let me be honest with you and put it this way. My parents also invested heavily
wow.
to the bone. They worked themselves, 6 Love, and all of
wow.
that for me and my brother, as parents do, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The one thing, and they instilled in us something immense, something that is not tangible, something that is pride, something that is honoring and respecting yourself, which is bigger than anything else.
Wow.
Now, with that comes great responsibility, but you have a greater responsibility. Let me put it to you this way. So they also had expectations, but when you turn it around, it comes down to you do what makes you happy. And when you do that, when you're passionate about something, then things happen. Then you have support of everything. So the biggest thing is whatever your dream is, work hard of it. Discipline is everything. The discipline is everything. And I want to be clear that if you disciplined, you do the thing over and over and over.
Said.
Discipline is everything, because that is what makes you, passion is what makes you want to do it.
Yeah.
Discipline is what gets you through it.
Wow.
There's been tough times, and there's going to be more tough times,
and
COVID number 2, or COVID 5. One wave is coming now.
I think we're far beyond. I don't even see it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's another comment there I see.
Okay, enough with the comments now.
Craig Diamonds. So Dougal, I've been privileged to see you grow and develop over the years.
Craig.
You are such a talented young man. Regards, Mike.
Listen, and I got to be honest with you. Yeah, it's nice to hear that, because I know exactly where he's coming from, and we used to have some, you know, that awkward silences where people just we've had those. We've we've had where, and because you have those little blips, you prepare better, and you're only as good as the last thing, right? But you prepare better, and the thing is, nobody is perfect. So once the biggest thing is about you is you know what you can do and what you can't do and what you're good at. So I always flaunt the stuff that I'm really good at. Well, I won't say good at, but the things I can get away with. The stuff that I can't do, you don't see those.
That's true. So on that, exactly that. And I can tell you guys, what a phenomenal father. And you know what, this is an opportunity to say hi to your kids out there, because they will obviously be watching the show later.
School? Yeah, Lord. Do you know what school fees are now? You can't bunk that, man.
You can't bunk that. And what a phenomenal father. And not so long ago, we actually had to print a family photo, and you know, your son came here, and just the way you coached him on having to stand up there and present his, you know, what you call it, not opstel in English.
Oh, his oral and stuff.
Oral,
yeah.
You know, and he spoke eloquently, and I was like, whoa, how old is this kid? And I can truly say, you know what, you're a brilliant father. And
thanks, man.
You've been there for your kids, and you're always telling me what you're doing, what they're doing. So you're very involved, and I'm very, very impressed by, you know, exactly, besides everything else you're doing, which is everything else that you're doing out there, emceeing and running around the gigs. I know you are very busy. Sometimes, I mean, I see my poor friend and I'm like, you know, dude, let's have a cup of coffee. And we just chill and we have a cup of coffee just to de-stress and basically get a train running again. And you're a brilliant father, you're a brilliant partner. I take my hat off to you, because you are going through so much, and a lot of people don't even understand Dougal, where Dougal is coming from, what's happening in his private life, what's happening in his life. And me being as close to what I am with you, I really take my hat off to you.
Thanks, Rhoda.
You are one brilliant human being, one, as I said, father, partner, you know what, well done. So guys,
thanks.
If you need this man at your function, I'm telling you now, there's
Next
a lot
level.
of gigs. There's a lot of gigs coming at corporates out there. You want a comedian / MC that's going to make everything go smoothly and, you know, entertain you guys, entertain you at events. Contact this man. So if you're wanting to get his details, you can contact us at info@nickay.co.za. Also contact us 021 949 26. You can see the numbers going through there. If you want to book this man, there he goes. Contact us. And then the WhatsApp number there is 082 316 7910.
Yeah. Simple as that.
As
thanks,
simple
Rhoda.
as that.
And thanks for the wonderful comments. You know what? Normally when we do the show, this show is also a draw. I mean, I really mean
We
it. Like
enjoy it.
we've made significant changes to people's lives, and
So
at
true.
least steered them in the right direction with this show. And all this show start. And I don't want to use, and I use this word very liberally. I don't want to say it was a charity show, but that is what it was. It was for us to paying it forward.
Oh, yeah.
That was our intention with this, and we've definitely done this. So this is one of the things that I highlight. Also, I'm resigning from Mahla Monday because I've interviewed a lot of people. Now you kind of end on the best, right? So.
Oh, no, definitely not. Guys, thank you for having this time, and Dougal, thank you very much.
No, thanks, Rhoda.
You know, I couldn't tell you this beforehand because I just knew exactly.
That's why you wrote stuff.
That's
here.
why
I'm like,
he
what the
kept on
hell are we
asking me,
interviewing?
what are you writing? What are you writing? I was like, Dougal, don't worry about what I'm writing. So, thank you very much.
Big
And
pleasure.
you know,
Let me tell you, because I'm prepping in my head, okay, like it doesn't matter who it is. So I'm expecting like somebody I know. So I'm thinking, okay, it's an entertainer or an actor or somebody or some corporate CEO person. Or this was the instruction. No, it was something that I know intimately. But yeah, so I thought to myself, okay, let me just, I will be able to steer it. Yeah, but I do know myself better than most, although I got myself. One thing I must tell you is, so a lot of people obviously recognize me from casino work.
Oh, yes,
and stuff,
that's also
giving
right
away
at Grand West.
cars
That's
and
right.
houses and Lord knows what I've given away.
So true.
I've given more cars away than Avis.
Oh,
I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. For more than 10 years,
Well done.
once a week, I do that. It's 52 weeks in a year.
Jeez.
So let's say I do 40 cars a year.
Can you see why I say this man is all over the place?
That's a lot of cars. Just cars.
That's a lot of, and I forgot to mention,
In
because
draws.
that's one of the places you run
Just
around.
like in draws, yeah.
Grand West, and the hours as well. So, and that's why I take my hat off to you, because you're really, really juggling those balls all over the place. As Clicks, as Grand West, as a
That place has been amazing
telenovela.
to be.
I was just going to say, and I mean, that's where we basically had a lot of interaction at Grand West, where you emceeing at these events, we taking photos, we printing on site. So that's exactly where we've started building. And I can tell you, the first time I saw this man, you know, the first time I saw him, he was walking, pacing up and down, and I was taking photos at the photo booth at one point, and he comes up, he's, oh, what you guys doing? And the accent and the, you know, the voice.
What
and I was
accent?
Like, the voice, like, you know, like he's prepping to get obviously onto stage. And I fully understand that now, because you need to actually do this. And I was like, you know what, come stand here and let's have a photo, take a photo of you. And he's like, oh, okay. And that's what he says, oh, okay. And he goes and he stands here like, you know, and just that presence of him standing there was like, really like, you know, I'm here. I'm full this space. I'm in your presence. That's exactly what I felt. And I was like, geez, look at this dude, you know. And I never thought that we would be friends one day. We would be doing this together one day. And just shows me the importance of an MC. He needs to fill in that space. He needs to walk on a stage and make his presence felt. That's exactly what you do.
Oh, thanks, Rhoda.
Yeah, so guys, that's it. It's been a brilliant, brilliant show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And like I said, if I told this beforehand, I think Dougal would have really had his guns out.
No,
already.
I wouldn't have said we do this. This is the worst show we've ever done.
As far as I'm concerned, this is
and
one
then
of the
Clint
best.
commented, what the hell? Where did he buy data? At the mall,
Guys.
using Wi-Fi for free.
Don't forget, like and share this video, and have a fabulous rest of the week.
Oh, thanks, Rhoda. I don't know what to say, actually. Yeah.
See you guys.
Yeah, don't share this one.
Share this one. Bye.
Cheers, thanks, bye.